Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to yet another session of Daily Current Affairs with Sathya sir. Today it is the 10th of June 2025, and I'm going to talk about the news headlines and other snippets, along with a few words of vocabulary that we can get today from one of the leading newspapers. So, without further ado, let's get on to this session. The front page of today's daily is an ad, so I move on to the second page, which is devoted to global news. The main headlines is how LA, that would be Los Angeles, braces for day 4 of immigration protests. So immediately I would catch on the word brace, and I think in yesterday's or day before's thing also we had come across this word. Now, this does not seem to be something which is going to be relevant from the viewpoint of current affairs. So, quickly I will scan the others. Crowd control munition, Israel reveals tunnel under Gaza. So, once again, the Israel Gaza issue, something related to that in the news. Then Israeli forces seize Gaza aid boat carrying Greta Thunberg. Okay, Miss Greta Thunberg is an activist who is famous or infamous for one, her speech, which I believe she gave at the United Nations, and a very controversial figure. So, yet another thing she seems to have done. Basically, the news says that the naval forces boarded and seized a charity vessel that had tried to break a naval blockade of the Gaza Strip on Monday. And the boat, with its crew of 12, including the activist, is now heading to a port in Israel. Okay. So, vocabulary wise, what is meant by a naval blockade? Naval, of course, related to the Navy, blockade is stopping things from moving forward. Okay. Then Trump's new travel ban. Okay. Russia could attack in 5 years. NATO members must boost air and missile defenses by 400%. Although the news by itself may not be too relevant, I would definitely pick up NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and read up on what is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, what is its history, who are the members, where is its headquarters, who is the current head, so on and so forth. Other than that, no major news. So I turn to the next couple of pages full of ads, and then the main page where the biggest headlines is a piece of sensationalist news about honeymoon horror. So not something which is interesting at all. Uh, Fast locals, 8 commuters fall off, not interesting. Weather delays, no. Short duration for assemblies. Dad bro held for killing, no. ASP killed, no. LA braces, no. NDA has delivered major, no. Stampede summons. Okay, so there's some news related to the Manrega scheme. Although this particular news snippet may not be too relevant, I will definitely read up on what is Manrega, the full form, Mahatma Gandhi rural employment minimum rural employment guarantee scheme or something like that. Okay, but there are no other major news headlines. Then next, the city news. City related news don't seem to be too relevant for national level entrance exams, so I'm not going to spend time reading on that. The next page of city news is not giving me anything interesting. City news yet again not too interesting. Then state news, national basketball player arrested for cyber fraud. Nope. Textile players worried by cotton MSP. Okay. So what is the MSP? MSP stands for minimum sale price or minimum selling price. And although this news by itself may not be too relevant, I would definitely go and read up on what is MSP. Then cheating, criminal news. No. Okay. Then leopard which killed girl baffles 108-day search. Not relevant. Dozen people turned up to adopt. No. No. Man flees. No. No, fire erupts, FIR filed, not relevant at all. Okay. The next page, I move on to national news. On the very left, there's a very interesting, just a one-liner. Ballpoint pen was invented by a Hungarian journalist Laszlo Biro in 1943 as a cleaner alternative to fountain pens. Okay, so the static GK thing which I will pick up from this is ballpoint pen was invented by Laszlo Biro, right? This is the only static bit interesting. Then there is some update on the IPL related stampede in Karnataka. Then Army to get new air defense boost with 30,000 crore QR SAM deal. Okay, QR is quick reaction surface to air missile. Okay, so when it comes to defense, an SAM is a surface to air missile, and a QRSAM is a quick reaction surface to air missile. But there's an interesting bit. It says government eyeing first simultaneous poll by 2034. ONOE panel chief. Okay, so ONOE is one nation, one election, right? And this has been in the news for over a year now. The news basically is that the government is expecting to hold the first countrywide simultaneous polls by 2034 after passage of the constitutional amendment bill. So right now elections are held in India either at the center level for the central government or differently at state levels, maybe even at panchayat levels, and they are not synchronized. So different states often go to polls for their state assemblies at different points of time. And the entire country then again goes to polls when it comes to the central elections. And India being the most populous country on earth, it's not an easy task, both financially and logistically. If one election is held, or at least all the elections are held simultaneously, then there is quite a good chance that we could save up a lot on money, a lot of time, a lot on logistics. And that is generally the thought behind having one nation, one election. So the one nation, one election bill is expected to be the 129th amendment, right? If it is passed, then this will become the 129th amendment in the Constitution of India. And after 2027, the assembly due to be elected in 2032 may have a tenure of only 2 years, right? If 2034 is the year from which everything is going to be synchronized. But in 2032, if there happens to be an election and some party comes to power in a particular state, then that particular government can only have a tenure of 2 years, because in 2034, to synchronize everything, everybody will go in for the elections. So that becomes an interesting thing. Then, so this particular news I would definitely recommend everybody reads, and then whenever you get any update on the one nation, one election thing, please do go and keep following up. So this is very, very interesting. Okay. Other than that, quickly move on to the next page, a full page ad. Then again, nation news, updates on Maoist things. Track this. No. Okay. Next page, rescue mission. Then there is a small thing about NDA government delivered major changes in 11 years. So I would read this particular article to know what are the changes which are being said. Okay. So let's quickly go through this article. It says that 60% of the current union ministers are from SC, ST and OBC categories, which means, the news article claims that this is for burnishing the social justice credentials. So what is meant by to burnish? To burnish means to polish, to brighten something or to show something in a good light. Then highest ever representation of the marginalized groups in the Union Council of Ministers. women empowerment, not just the fastest growing major economy, but a key global voice on pressing issues like climate action and digital innovation, well equipped to safeguard territorial integrity, economic revival, social justice, cultural pride, national security, peace established in GNK Northeast. We respond to terrorist attacks by striking the perpetrators in their own backyard. Okay, interesting. Okay, other than that, no major news. Then moving ahead to the nation related page, nothing more. Again, nation related page, but most of it is crime and sensational news, so I will skip it. And now we come to my favorite page, which is the middle page. Did Musk miss Trump's plotline? Opinion article by Michael Vasuira, who contributes to Newsweek and other American news outlets. The byline reads, how could someone as smart as the Tesla boss not understand Trumpian politics? Is essentially reality TV. Or is he like his founder patron and as emotionally capricious as a sulking teen? Okay. Content apart, words like capricious to sulk are interesting words. Definitely read this article, it might give you a different perspective. What are the major words that I can pick up? Any other word? Seems to be a rather sensationalist thing, but would make an interesting read if not relevant from the point of current affairs. On the left, of course, we have three articles, opinions. One is doctors and patients, where medics can't be bullied by ministers, but how medics deal with patients is also a vital part of healthcare. So I think this is bringing into notice the recent social media video which went rather viral about a Goa politician going and asking for the CMO, and I think he sacked him or at least had words with him, and then later there was some repercussions to that. So definitely read this to get an update on that. Second one is mending Manipur, so the Manipur issue viewpoint, and return of Saudagar, the third one not very relevant. Okay, the middle column is the truth burning bright in a match on fire. Both Alcaraz and Sinner showed extraordinary endurance and poetry in the French Open final. But modern sports supreme physicality has made such encounters almost frighteningly frequent. Okay, so this again is an opinion piece about sports and endurance. So from the viewpoint of for sports and endurance, definitely we'll read this, and it has something to do with the French Open, which is one of the four major slams which create the Grand Slam. Okay, moving ahead, business. RBI looking at tighter rules. Vijay Mallya still owes 7,000 rupees, 7,000 crore rupees claim banks. Okay, so Vijay Mallya, the person behind Kingfisher Airlines and Kingfisher Beer and a lot of those brands, was in the news almost a decade back, over a decade back, I guess, where he supposedly absconded from the country and a lot of financial claims against him were made. And recently he gave a news, not to a major news outlet, but on a podcast where he supposedly gave his point of view. And a lot of people have come both for and against him on social media. So this particular article is how the government counters the businessman's argument on loan repayment and outstanding dues. So definitely I would read a little bit on this, if not anything then to understand basic economics and law. Other than that, nothing much on this page. Okay, next page, it's a special. Hindi teacher for English, science fair, online videos, schools where almost nobody cleared boards. In these Haryana schools grappling with a severe teacher crunch, the writing was already on the wall when class 12 exams came. Okay, so to grapple with something, to fight with something. Okay, although this seems to be just an interesting article regarding the poor state of education, this can be read as an opinion piece. Then in sports, we have Alcaraz, third man to save championship point and win Grand Slam title. Okay, so the French Open, obviously. So read up on the French Open, the list of winners, which would be the men's winners, women's winners, doubles, mixed doubles, and so on and so forth. Then there's an opinion below that of are Nadal and Alcaraz cut from the same cloth. So a lot of news around the tennis thing, and below that nothing much major. And the last page devoted to sports is again just opinions about things. So nothing, no major news as such which has come up in today's newspapers, just follow-ups on different things and a lot of sensationalist news. So as usual, when there is nothing much to update our current affairs treasure trove, then we can just read the newspapers, the middle columns, the opinion pieces, the editorials to improve our language skills, right? So that's it for today. Nothing much other than just some basic reading and vocabulary practice. So this is me, Sathya, signing off. If you have liked this, hit that like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And in case you have an opinion on any of these things, then follow the policy of be nice, be respectful, and leave them in the comments below. Till then, wishing you all the best and have a good day.